Hello, babies! Welcome to Diaper Diaries, Mommy's original short stories. This is episode 33, Out of This World ABDL, an alien baby diaper lover. Now get your bot and blankie, relax, and enjoy the story. Amid a planned intergalactic vacation on a family spaceship, a less than grateful, unplanned landing happened on planet Earth. The dashboard beeped and blinked erratically, indicating that the ship's systems were offline. Mother, with her antenna quivering from anxiety and the need to nurture, turned to Father. "We need to find shelter," she said urgently, "and fast." The Zorthians exited the spaceship and gazed upon the unfamiliar landscape. Earth was vastly different from their own planet, and gravity tugged at their forms in a peculiar way. They noticed a structure in the distance, which appeared to be a house, abandoned and slightly dilapidated. Father, with his usual pragmatism, suggested, "Let's check the house for supplies and a place to stay temporarily." Mother nodded in agreement, clutching young Timmy, their son, closer. Even as a teenager, he was still her one and only baby. As they approached the house, they could see it was surrounded by an overgrown garden, filled with flora that seemed both eerily similar and utterly alien to them. The door creaked open, revealing a dusty and dimly sunlit interior. The furniture was covered in dusty sheets, and the smell of disuse hung heavy in the air. Mother immediately began searching for a suitable place for Timmy to rest, her maternal instincts taking over. "Mom, look!" Timmy exclaimed, grabbing objects that curiously looked like they could be used for entertainment. Amongst the dust bunnies and cobwebs, they had found an assortment of archaic human technology. A large, flat, glowing box with moving images called a television, and a collection of rectangular devices with buttons and screens known as gaming consoles. Timmy's eyes grew wide with excitement, as these were the relics of a pastime they had only read about in their interstellar travel guides. While Timmy eagerly began to explore the world of gaming, Father, ever the engineer, set to work on repairing the spaceship. "This will take some time," he murmured to himself, scanning the ship's damaged systems. "We should make ourselves comfortable here for now." Mother looked around the house, her eyes falling on a basket of what looked like soft, absorbent cloths. "What are these?" she asked, holding one up curiously. It was then that she remembered reading about Earth's primitive bathroom customs in the ship's database. "Diapers," she murmured, "for the humans as young. I suppose they could serve a temporary purpose." Timmy looked up from his newfound gaming console, his curiosity piqued. "Can I try one?" he asked innocently, blushing at the thought of such an odd request. Mother, desperate to keep her child comfortable, handed him a diaper. "Just until your father can fix the ship," she assured him, trying to maintain a sense of normalcy amidst their unexpected predicament. Timmy took the diaper shyly and examined it. The material was soft to the touch, unlike anything they had on their home planet. He looked around for a place to change, spotting a room with a closed door. "Be right back," he said quietly, attempting to contain his inner excitement, and scurried off. Once inside, he studied the diaper with a mix of fascination and apprehension. He had read about them, but never imagined using one himself. He laid it out on a dusty bed, noticing it was much larger than the ones used for their babies. With a sigh of resignation, he stripped down to his gel-filled underwear, which was designed to handle the biological functions of his species. That was sort of like his version of a diaper, he supposed. He placed the diaper under him and pulled it up, adjusting it until it fit snugly. It was surprisingly comfortable, though it crinkled loudly with every move he made. When Timmy emerged, his mother looked at him with a mix of concern and amusement. "How do you feel?" she asked, trying not to laugh at the sight of her teenage son in a human diaper. Timmy shrugged, a little embarrassed, but mostly relieved. "It's okay, I guess. It's just weird." He played it off as if it were no big deal, but he secretly liked the feel of it. The diaper made him feel safe, snug, and cared for, like when he was a baby. Mother couldn't help but smile at her son's newfound sense of adventure. "Well, we might as well make the best of this," she said, reaching into the basket and pulling out a few more diapers for herself. "Let's explore the house and see what else we can find." They wandered from room to room, discovering new and strange oddities from Earth's culture. They found a pantry filled with non-perishable human food, which was surprisingly palatable to their alien digestive systems. Father chuckled at the sight of a toaster, which he had only read about in ancient texts, while Timmy marveled at the simplicity of Earth's gaming systems. Mother, ever practical and motherly, decided to clean up the house a bit, using her telekinetic abilities to lift dust and cobwebs into the air, where they dissipated into nothingness. As she worked, she mused about how different their lives were from the humans. "You know, Timmy," she said, "I never thought we'd be wearing diapers again." Timmy looked up from his game, his cheeks blushing a deeper shade of green. "Yeah, it's weird, but it's kind of fun," he admitted, allowing his voice to trail off. While his parents tended to the spaceship and the house, Timmy grew increasingly engrossed in his new hobby. He found a stash of Earth diapers in various sizes and patterns, which sparked his imagination. He began to feel a strange thrill from the comfort they provided and the sensation of being cared for in such a primitive way. He tried on different ones, each with varying degrees of thickness and absorption. It became a secret game for him, a way to cope with the unfamiliarity of their situation. Shortly after, while playing an engaging video game, Timmy's bladder took control. Before he knew it, a warm sensation was spreading through the diaper. He had wet himself. His cheeks burned with embarrassment as he felt a strange sense of relief. He looked around, saw no one, and then grinned mischievously. It was oddly liberating. With extraterrestrial keen senses, Mother felt a change in the atmosphere. She poked her head into the room. "Timmy," she called out, "are you okay?" Timmy, lost in his game, didn't hear her at first. "Timmy," she repeated, a hint of concern in her voice. He paused the game and jolted around. "Yeah, I'm fine." But his voice was too high-pitched, and she could tell he was hiding something. Mother walked over to Timmy, her antenna twitching as she noticed the dampened area of his diaper. She tried not to laugh, but the absurdity of the situation was too much. "Oh, honey," she said, her voice filled with amusement and love. "You've had an accident." Timmy looked up at her, his eyes wide with embarrassment. "It's okay," she reassured him. "It happens to everyone sometimes. Let's get you cleaned up." Timmy nodded, his blush deepening as his mother helped him to his feet. They made their way to the bathroom, where the sight of the human toilet brought back memories of their own planet's advanced sanitation pods. "We'll have to make do," she said, her voice gentle. She gently removed the wet diaper, revealing Timmy's gel-covered bottom. With a sigh, she grabbed a cleaning cloth and began to wipe him down. "You know," she said, "I think we're learning a lot about human life here." Timmy looked at her with a spark of curiosity in his eyes. "How so?" Mother, her hands never stopping their loving ministrations, replied, "Well, for one, their methods of care are so intimate. It's a reminder of how much we've changed as a species, and yet there's something comforting about returning to such simple practices." Timmy nodded thoughtfully, the warmth of his mother's care washing over him. As she cleaned him, he felt a pang of nostalgia for his own childhood, when she had done this for him every day. "You know, it's kind of nice," he murmured. "I feel like a baby again." Mother paused for a moment, her hand hovering over Timmy's gel-covered skin. She studied her son, his eyes wide with wonder and contentment. "I know it's strange," she said softly, "but sometimes it's good to be taken care of, even if you're not a baby anymore." She gently patted his diaper into place, securing it with the tapes. "But remember, Timmy, we're not here to stay, we're just passing through." Timmy nodded, his cheeks still flushed with embarrassment. "I know," he mumbled, his gaze cast downward. "It's just fun." Mother scurried to the kitchen to figure out dinner, while Timmy trotted back to the game he had left. Meanwhile, Father had discovered some old books, papers, and something bottled that tasted strange. The harsh liquid was beginning to make him feel funny. He hoped the manuals and book information settled into his head rather than the fuzziness that was quickly taking over. "It's time for dinner," Mother called from the kitchen. It was clear she had been busy cooking something by the strange smells. Timmy's stomach growled, reminding him that he hadn't eaten since before the crash landing. He got up and padded into the kitchen. Meanwhile, Father struggled to move. The room was filled with the aroma of something sweet and savory, a blend of flavors that tickled the senses. Mother had managed to create a dish using the human food they found in the pantry and some of their own travel supplies. It was a strange concoction marrying familiar with foreign. Father came staggering into the kitchen. "Something smells delicious, darling," he stumbled out of his mouth. They both looked at him like he had been sniffing petrol and busted out laughing when they noticed the empty bottle in his hand and his red eyes. He held the bottle up. "I don't know what this is, but I don't recommend it," he slurred. He plopped into the dining chair and began devouring food. Pieces were falling out of his mouth, and they chuckled heartily as Father did not even notice. After he finished, he found a comfortable chair to rest in. They did not hear another peep out of him the rest of the night except for a little snoring, giving Timmy the opportunity to embrace something new he had just found. In the bathroom after dinner, Timmy had found a pink onesie in the bottom drawer. He asked Mother if he might sleep in it, just to stay warm in the strange atmosphere. No other reason. Timmy's mother, touched by his innocent request, nodded. "Of course, dear," she said, with her antenna bobbing gently. She took the pink onesie and placed it into the bathtub and used her telekinetic abilities to fill the basin with water. She added a few drops of their intergalactic cleaning solution that they had brought from home, safe for all fabrics and materials. The water bubbled and frothed as she agitated the material, and after a few moments she lifted it out and examining it, finding it clean and fresh. She then used a small handheld device to gently warm and blow dry air to it. Handing it to Timmy, she smiled warmly. "There you go. It's all ready for bedtime." Timmy's eyes lit up with excitement as he took the onesie, feeling the soft material against his fingers. He couldn't wait to wear it. Mother left to go check on Father. While she was washing the onesie, Timmy had found a toothbrush still boxed inside the mirror, next to a tube of what was determined as human toothpaste. He opened it up, read the instructions on the tube, and then cleaned his teeth with the strange brush. The minty taste was a refreshing contrast to the stale air of the house. When done, he grabbed the onesie and rushed out. He followed toward a dim light and discovered the setting sun casting a soft glow over a desolate bed. A pink blanket seemed to be the only splash of color in the otherwise dull space. The mattress felt surprisingly comfortable despite its age. The pink blanket looked warm and inviting. He changed into the fluffy, soft onesie. Being much smaller in stature than humans, it fit him very well. He lay down and snuggled into his new temporary earth roll, feeling comfortable and babied. When Mother came looking for him, she discovered Timmy already asleep, snuggled under the pink blanket in his onesie. Her eyes welled with large tears as she reminisced of him as an infant. She stood watching him for a while, then lay on the floor beside his bed. She would sleep there tonight with her baby boy since Father was passed out cold in his own chair and would not miss her. As she softly hummed herself to sleep, subconsciously Timmy could hear his mother's soothing voice and slept like a baby. His dreams were filled with images of their home planet and the comforting routine of his childhood. But there was something new in these dreams, something warm and comforting that he couldn't quite place, but it made him feel safe. That was the embrace of a diaper and soft onesie. The next morning, the family gathered around the kitchen table. Mother presented them with a breakfast of earth cereal mixed with their own special travel packets. The crunch of the cereal and the sweet taste of the powdered milk brought a smile to Timmy's face. Father did not care what they ate. He was just trying to get through the day with some sort of productivity to the spacecraft repairs. The hangover was a strange sensation to him, and he hoped it would pass quickly. "Timmy," Mother began as they ate, "while we wait for your father to fix the spaceship, I think it's important that we learn more about this planet and its people. Who knows, we might find something that could help us." Timmy nodded, his spoon hovering midair as he considered her words. But how? We can't go outside without our environmental suits, and we've already explored the house. Mother looked thoughtful. We can't interact with the humans directly, but we can observe them. We can use the shopping orb to hover just above their heads without being detected. It's not perfect, but it's the best we can do until we fix the ship. Father, feeling a bit better after a night's rest and a cup of strong black earth coffee, added, You need to be careful, though. We don't want to cause a panic. Remember, we're here to learn, not to interfere. Timmy's eyes lit up at the mention of going outside. Awesome! When can we go, Mom? He asked eagerly. Mother nodded. Right away, but remember to stay hidden. We don't know how humans will react to seeing aliens. They put on their environmental suits and detached the orb from the spaceship, going into stealth mode. Timmy watched as the world around them grew smaller as they lifted into the air. Their temporary shelter grew distant as the overgrown garden looked like a patch of green against the sprawling landscape below. Mother piloted the ship with ease, and her tentacle-like appendages gracefully manipulating the controls. They hovered over a nearby town, the people bustling about in their strange vehicles and speaking an unfamiliar native tongue. The orb's camouflage was flawless, and they were able to get a close look without being noticed. Timmy watched in amazement as humans interacted with each other, their expressions and gestures alien yet somewhat relatable. They landed in a nearby park, the soft thud of their landing barely disturbing the leaves beneath them. Mother turned to him, her antenna quivering with excitement. This is where we'll start, she said. Remember, Timmy, we're just observing. Timmy nodded solemnly, his eyes wide with curiosity as they ventured out into the uncharted territory. The park was filled with the scents of unidentifiable flora mixed with the sounds of Earth's humans and wildlife. They approached a group of children playing, their laughter and shouts echoing through the trees. Timmy felt a strange kinship with them, despite their vast differences. He watched as one little girl stumbled and fell. When her mother rushed over to comfort her, he realized the universal language of love, care, and concern. As the day grew hotter, Timmy's diaper began to feel uncomfortably warm and wet. He tugged at the snaps on his environmental suit, feeling the need to change. Mother noticed his discomfort and suggested they find a secluded spot. They found solace behind some large oak trees, and Timmy stepped out into the backside of it, away from prying eyes. He was grateful for the privacy as he removed the soiled diaper and replaced it with a fresh one, feeling the coolness of the new fabric against his skin. Mother observed him with a smile. Remember, Timmy, she said gently, these are just for now. Once we're back in space, it's back to our usual way of life. Timmy nodded, though a part of him hoped it would be more than just for now. The diapers had become a surprising comfort to him, a symbol of the care and protection his parents had provided. He thought about his life back home and how he missed his friends, school, playing, and other activities. He had enjoyed wearing the diapers and being a human baby, but he wanted to make his parents proud by helping out when there was a desperate need. He decided he may explore how he could be an alien baby when they got back home. But for now, when they landed back at the old house, he knew what he must do, and he went to find Father. Timmy watched in admiration for a few moments before approaching Father to offer help with the spaceship repairs. Father looked up from his work with a proud smile and said, "That's my boy," as he patted Timmy on the back. Timmy rolled up his sleeves and dove right into the complex web of wires and circuits that made up the ship's innards. He had a keen interest and ability in engineering, and many of the principles translated well to the damaged craft's technology. After wearing the highly absorbent human baby diapers, he had a brilliant idea. He managed to bypass a fried circuit using a piece of his gel-filled underwear, which was surprisingly conductive, and reroute power to the ship's life support system. The dashboard lit up with a hopeful flicker, and the ship's computer whirred with a positive response from his efforts. But it wasn't quite enough. The gel had served to patch the frayed electrical component, but there was still an area that was damp, causing surges and broken circuits. Timmy carefully pulled out a piece of padding from one of the diapers and gently placed it into the wet circuitry. It began to absorb the excess liquid, swelling slightly as it did. The circuit seemed to dry out before their eyes, and the ship's computer beeped again in what seemed like approval. The lights on the dashboard stopped flickering and stabilized, and the ship's power systems showed signs of coming back online. Father's eyes widened in amazement. "Timmy, that was brilliant!" His voice was filled with excitement and accomplishment. "I never would have thought of that." He looked at the diaper with a newfound respect. "I think we might just have found a use for these things." Timmy grinned widely, his cheeks reddening a bit. "It just came to me," he said, feeling a sense of pride swell within his chest. "Maybe we can use more of them to fix other parts of the ship." Happily, Timmy gathered all the diapers in the old house with permission to load them onto the craft. He had secretly wanted to take them, but wasn't sure how to smuggle them. This was perfect. He thought he would only be able to snag a few, but it turns out he got to take them all without trying to hide them. Now he only had to smuggle the cozy pink onesie. As the alien family gathered into the spaceship laden with useful diapers, they began pre-flight checks. Timmy shared his excitement about the successful repair, reminding them how the diaper material had absorbed the liquid in the circuitry. Mother nodded and her antenna bobbed with understanding. "Great job, Timmy," she praised. "You're growing up so fast. Your ingenuity will be a great asset to our people." Father, still slightly fuzzy-headed from the previous night's concoction, fumbled with the ship's controls. With Timmy's newfound discovery and their combined efforts, he quickly got the spaceship systems back online, the engines hummed to life, and the ship lifted off from the Earth's surface, leaving behind the abandoned house and the strange adventure it had provided. They doubted they would ever be able to top this vacation. Memories were made, experiments were successful, Timmy learned how to be an ABDL, and now he was going to spread that comfort into the vast universe. It was the trip of a lifetime, and they were all relieved and happy to be headed home. The end. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Diaper Diaries. Please like, subscribe, and join me for my other stories. Don't forget the Easter egg hunt. This was video number 3 out of 7. And Ranger, don't give it away this time. Do not type the color for everyone else to see. Let them find it on their own. Bad baby. I'm just kidding. Mommy still loves you all. Good night, my babies.